So we've had a lot of problems with our visa, obviously. So when we first came to Thailand, we had to arrive on a visa exemption. There was no way for us to apply for a non-immigrant visa.
Or a tourist visa.
visa.
It was an exemption.
There was no way for us to do these other visas that allow us to stay for 3 months at a time because there was no Thai consulate there that we could apply for, and we were under the impression that we could have applied online, which was not how it was working out for us.
Right.
So because we could not find a Thai consulate in Indonesia, we had to just scratch that and come into Thailand on a visa exemption. So that what that means is that we don't even have a visa. We are exempt from the visa because the United States has a good relationship with Thailand. They let us come in for 30 days at a time. So we came in for 30 days. So our next visa renewal was June 5th, and we went and renewed it for 30 days. And you can only do that one time. So this time we're supposed to apply for our non-immigrant B visa. I was, because this whole time while we've been here, the visa employee of the school has been helping us to get all of our documents together, going to immigration, talking to education office, and all of the things that have to be in order.
It's really been like a lot of back and forth, which I think for her has been very frustrating just as well because, you know, she's done this with so many people, and yet after COVID, so many things have changed and the documents are different. And I think that she's been just as frustrated going up there and getting turned away because something's changed or because that one immigration officer, you know, doesn't like the way that this paper is done or whatever.
Right, and there's also a lot of different visas that you can apply for. So she does her best to keep up with everything, and so we've had to just tell ourselves, you know, we need to be patient, and she's doing her best, and we're doing our best because we've had to do a lot of research on our own and help ourselves as well. So, and that's what I've kind of learned too, is like she's a great asset, and she does help me because she speaks Thai. So she came with us to the immigration office today, which was very helpful, but I have had to do a lot of the back work for us on my own, which has been very challenging. So that's why it's just been a long process mentally.
It's been the Thai circus over here.
Yeah. So yesterday we went thinking that we were going to apply for my non-immigrant B visa, which is my teaching visa. Brandon cannot, because the laws have changed, Brandon can no longer follow me in the country because he's my husband. He has to, we can't do that here, so we have to leave the country
To apply for my
to
visa.
apply for his visa. I will have a re-entry form, so I'll be able to come back in. So we have to fly to Vietnam, and Hanoi is where we're going to go, and we're going to apply at the consulate there for his visa, and hopefully we get it. And if he doesn't get the non-immigrant O, then we might have to
Come back on an actual tourist visa.
apply for a tourist visa there and be able to come back that way. So there are some options for that. So today we tried to do my non-immigrant B. He had to extend anyway because our 60 days were up, and the COVID extension is why we could do that. So they have a COVID extension in place that lasts until July 25th. And so we're able to renew that one more time before it cancels out. So that was a huge blessing.
Yeah.
So he was able to do that today, which was great. Yesterday we had tried to do all of this yesterday. So yesterday we went and we were turned away immediately, sat down at the first table and
Pulled the first page back and they said, "Oh, wrong page. Where's your staff member that's with you?"
Yeah.
Which is Pim Honor.
so I called
Lady.
him over there and they talk in Thai, and she's like, "Oh, this date is wrong, everything's wrong here, and you have to have a stamp from the U.S. Embassy on your degree," which has been a hot mess from the very beginning because the U.S. Embassy's website is very confusing, and they say they don't do it, they don't notarize degrees, when in fact you do go and get an appointment, get an affidavit, write an affidavit, and they have to stamp it.
Notarize that affidavit, not the actual diploma. So it's just been a huge mess of miscommunications. The U.S. Embassy's website and the person that we emailed is all different than what they actually told us today in person. So we actually got that done. We got the affidavit. We got it notarized, and that is what they needed to start the application for her non-immigrant B.
which is the teaching visa, which is
Yep.
perfect because now I have all of my documents
Literally everything.
for my teaching visa. So today, we went to the immigration officer again.
Got everything ready to go.
He approved all of my papers. So then we go to the next step and we're like, all right, we're doing it.
Right.
It's going to be great. We get up to the desk and she's like, oh no, you cannot apply for this today because your visa is going to expire before 15 days and this takes at least 15 days to process. So you have to apply for the COVID extension.
The visa that's going to expire is the one that we are currently on right now. We were trying to wait till it was just about to the end to apply for hers and re-extend mine. What we did not know, and Pim did not know, is that when we got ready to extend, you need a minimum of 15 days when you turn in your non-immigrant B application because it would take about that long. So we only have about 4 days left on the visa that we are currently on. And so if we were to apply, our visa would expire before she was able to get her visa non-immigrant B returned to her. So we both had to extend the visa that we were on today further so that we'd have more time for her application to go through.
Right, so we get up to the desk after I refill out paperwork and we know that we can't do the non-immigrant B. Very sad, like very disappointing, because we've had lots of plans to leave the country, to go to Vietnam. We have to get his visa and we have to make plans for that. We have to buy tickets and all these things. And so our timeline is now changed, which we knew we had to be flexible. So we're not really that upset about it. It's just like, okay, adapt. We got to adapt. What are we doing now?
Yeah.
So we get up to the counter and we wait an hour. They get everything situated. They call our names and I check the visa stamp and it says July 12th. And
Right.
I'm like,
So does mine.
what the heck? Because it's supposed to be 30 days and then another 30 days for COVID extension. And they only gave us 15 days. And so we're like, all right, what the heck? So we give it to Pim and she goes and talks Thai with them and she figures out that they give us 15 days at first and we have to come back and apply, or we have to come back and they just stamp it for 45 more days. I do not know why they do that.
Yeah.
Do it that way. No idea. But that's what they said.
Right.
And they said we don't have to pay for it again, which is really frustrating because every time we're doing this, we're paying $120 every time.
Together, $120.
Yeah. And so that's frustrating. So I really hope they don't charge us again just to stay
Yeah.
for 30 days.
Yeah. That same day that we go back to get our next 45-day stamp will be when Mallory actually applies for her non-immigrant B. So at that point, 15 days from now, we will be extending my visa exemption, and we will be applying officially for Mallory's non-immigrant B visa.
Maybe. So that's not really even for sure. That's what we think because,
That's the impression we have at this point.
right. So anything could change. It always can change. And
Right.
we've definitely learned that. So that's what we think. That's what we're going with. And we're going to show back up to immigration on July 12th
And hope that it goes smooth.
and pray that this is what we need and that it's going to work out. So
Thank you all so much for all of your prayers. We got messages from a lot of you guys at home praying for us. It's been very stressful. It's been hectic and somewhat discouraging at times. Just trying to figure all this out, and we really appreciate it. We really feel the love and support from home.
we're really enjoying ministry here in Thailand, and so we're trying to get these extensions. We're trying to stay here for longer than just 30 days at a time. I don't think we've updated you about this thus far, but we are planning to stay here until at least December. And so we need these visas that allow us to be here longer. We've made a lot of connections and we're really enjoying our ministry here. With the Thai people, with the foreigners. We met somebody last night at one of the markets who's from South Africa, and he's a single guy our age who's from Bangkok but here visiting with his sister, and we invited him to come and hang out with us. And so we're actually about to go hang out with him in 30 minutes and try to get to know him and minister to him. So just little things like that are super cool. God's just bringing people into our path, and so we're just really excited to continue ministry here, and we're just praying that he opens the door for us to continue our ministry here.
Yep.
If not, then we'll move on, and that will be his plan, and we'll have ministry elsewhere. So like Brennan said, we're thankful for your prayers, and we'll keep you guys updated on our next steps.
So we know that that's a lot of information, and it may be somewhat confusing. If you have any other questions, feel free to email us or to comment on the blog. and we would love to try to clarify those things for you the best that we possibly can with the knowledge that we have at this point. So again, thank you so much for all your love and support, and we'll talk to you guys soon.